Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A warm welcome to all of you to the WMS Faraid Forum, a Wasiat for Me. This forum is part of the Faraid Forum series organised by MUIS for Wakaf Masyarakat Singapura WMS. My name is Nona Kirana and I'm your host and moderator for this evening, InShaaAllah. So I want to say thank you so much for taking your time to join us to learn about a topic that's often minimized and also neglected. Faraid and Islamic legacy planning. I know it's a Friday evening, some of you had a long day at work today, but MashaAllah, I believe you are one of the chosen ones to be with us here today, InShaaAllah. And may Allah grant us ease in our hearts, and may this session be beneficial for all of us tonight, InShaaAllah. So the first segment for today is a panel discussion on starting the conversation on Islamic legacy planning. So let me invite now on stage and introduce our panelists. First, Ustaz Harun Masagus Hassan, who specializes in Islamic wealth management. He's also a member of the Islamic Legacy Planning Work Group. We also have with us Ms. Rafida Wahid, who is an advocate and solicitor, and she's also the founder of RW Law Practice. So thank you both for being with us today. So maybe you want to come up on stage and be with me so we can talk about more about Islamic legacy planning, inshallah.
To start your Islamic legacy planning, it is not an easy step because first and foremost, I think we have to ensure, or rather we have to identify what are the gaps that we are trying to cover in terms of Islamic planning. So for example, the first step is to identify who are actually your Faraid beneficiaries, meaning those waris, in short, who are going to be the people who are going to benefit automatically when you're no longer around. Number two, and in terms of what other special circumstances that you may have that may not apply to everybody, but you may need to do it because of the special circumstances that you're in. So there are a few things that you have to identify. Number one, what is the purpose if you want to do Islamic legacy planning, and what instrument do you need to pursue to fulfill that purpose. You also have instruments such as insurance nomination and the big ticket item, especially property in Singapore.
Yeah, it's true because I'm a property agent by profession, and in my line of work, I meet a lot of clients. Sometimes they have instances whereby they are single, they've got children, and they want to pass on their assets to their children. So do you do joint tenancy? Can you give to your HDB? So, when you know how to go about in the manner of holding, that's easier for you to plan for your asset, right? I want to ask Ustaz Harun, what are some of the considerations, or how do you go about when you hear Islamic legacy planning? It sounds a little bit overwhelming.
I think the question is very important here. So usually we start by looking into our assets. From my experience over, alhamdulillah, over 10, 11 years, I have seen a lot of benefits of doing wasiat. You start to think about your schedule of assets. Can I write wasiat on my investment? How about my insurance? Do I do writing insurance, or I do nominations and that kind of things? So I believe it's very important, and we have to actually start to think about it and plan it well, inshallah.
Okay, so that's a difference. One is something to take care of you when you're still alive, and the other one is upon your passing, what's going to happen to your asset. Thank you so much to both our panelists. I hope all of you are able to capture some of the key takeaways as we go along in our discussion today. So moving on to our next segment, MashaAllah, I am very honoured to invite our very own Mufti of Singapore, Dr. Naziruddin Muhammad Nasir, to take the stage for his keynote speech. Mufti, please.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for inviting me to join in this important forum to spread greater awareness on one of our responsibilities and duties and contributions which probably are less well known in comparison to many other duties and responsibilities that we normally perform as Muslims.
Okay, I wanted to ask this question from Aisha. Very interesting, and we have so much of this situation right now. What if you don't have anyone to give your wealth to after you pass on, meaning you don't have parents, your spouse has passed on, and you have no children? So what's going to happen to my wealth?
We talked about the community or the society in general. There's one beneficiary that we didn't talk about, which are not family members, and that is the community. And that community is in the form of the Baitul Mal. Baitul Mal. This is the general endowment. In other words, this is where all the balance of the inheritance that do not go to individuals in our Madhab Shafi'i will go to the Baitul Mal, right? Unlike in Madhab Hanafi, for example. But in this case, there's nobody, so Baitul Mal will inherit. Baitul Mal is used to fund activities for the community, the Islamic, for the da'wah and everything else, Islamic education. So that money will still be used for very good purposes.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much to our esteemed panelists, Sahibul Sama Mufti, Ustaz Harun and Puan Rafida, for sharing your invaluable knowledge and wisdom. MashaAllah. And I hope today's discussion has shed light, or at least some kind of foundation on Islamic legacy planning, and encourage you to take necessary steps to plan for your wealth and legacy for yourself and also your loved ones. With that, my name is Nona Kirana. Till next time, inshaAllah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.